Today's story is about a military aircraft that caused total confusion during World War II, not because of anything the enemy did, but because of the absolutely baffling way its mission ended. We're talking about a situation that involved clear skies, an experienced crew, a perfectly functioning aircraft, and an outcome that defied all logical explanation. It's August 16th, 1942, off the coast of California. The US is fully engaged in the war, and fears of Japanese submarine attacks on the west coast are very real. Part of the defense involves regular anti-submarine patrols carried out by Navy blimps or airships. These aren't fast, but they can stay aloft for a long time, scanning the vast Pacific waters below. On this particular morning, a specific L-class Navy airship lifts off from Treasure Island near San Francisco, heading out over the ocean. On board are two experienced crewmen, the pilot, a lieutenant, and his co-pilot, mechanic, an ensign. Their mission is standard procedure: fly a patrol pattern out past the Farallon Islands, keep an eye out for enemy subs or suspicious activity, then return. The airship is equipped for its mission. It carries depth charges and a machine gun. Weather conditions are decent, visibility is good. The flight starts normally. The airship makes routine radio contact early on. Around 7:42 a.m., about an hour and 40 minutes into the patrol, the pilot radios that they've spotted what looks like a large oil slick on the water's surface near the Farallon Islands. An oil slick could indicate a submarine, either leaking fuel or maybe even one that had been recently sunk or damaged. They report they're going down to investigate closer. This is exactly what they were out there to do. That transmission, reporting the oil slick investigation, was the last time anyone heard directly from the two-man crew. They were expected to make further reports, especially concerning the oil slick, but nothing came. Radio silence. At first, maybe it wasn't too alarming. Radios could be finicky. But as time passed, concern began to grow back at base. Then, reports started coming in from ships and aircraft out in the patrol area. They were seeing the Navy blimp, but something was wrong. It was drifting. It appeared to be sagging slightly, maybe losing helium or altitude, and it wasn't following its designated patrol route. It was slowly making its way back towards the coast, seemingly unmanned. Witnesses noted it appeared to be flying erratically, sometimes dipping low towards the water. The mystery deepened as the airship reached the California coastline south of San Francisco. It was clearly losing altitude now. People on the ground watched in amazement as this large Navy blimp floated inland. It narrowly missed houses, drifted low over hillsides. It briefly touched down on Ocean Beach, dragging its mooring lines, then lifted off again weakly. Finally, its journey ended. Around 11:15 a.m., the airship drifted down onto Bellevue Avenue, a residential street in Daly City. It snagged on some power lines and utility poles, tearing the envelope slightly, which finally brought it to rest, deflated and sprawled across the street. There was no explosion, no fire, just this bizarre sight of a Navy blimp crumpled in suburbia. Emergency crews rushed to the scene, firefighters, police, then Navy personnel. The immediate concern was the crew. Were they injured inside? Firefighters carefully approached the control car, the gondola. They noticed the door was latched open. Strange, they looked inside and found it completely empty. No pilot, no co-pilot, just an empty control car. A massive search for the two missing crewmen began immediately, covering the ocean area where they were last reported, and the path the blimp drifted over. Meanwhile, investigators pored over the airship itself, looking for clues. What they found only deepened the mystery. Inside the gondola, things were mostly undisturbed, apart from the minor damage caused by the landing. Critically, both parachutes assigned to the crew were still neatly stowed in their places. The inflatable life raft was also still properly stored. If the crew had needed to bail out or ditch, why wouldn't they take the safety equipment? The blimp's armament was also telling. The depth charges were still securely locked in their racks, unused. The machine gun was in its place, possibly unfired. The crew's classified codebooks were found secure. There were no signs of a struggle, no bloodstains, no bullet holes, No fire damage within the gondola. The engines seemed fine, switches were set normally, and there was plenty of fuel left. The only thing truly out of place, besides the missing men, was that the gondola door was unlatched from the inside and its safety bar was found dangling loose. So, what happened to the two experienced Navy airmen? They took off on a routine patrol, reported an oil slick, and then vanished from their perfectly functioning airship somewhere over the Pacific, leaving behind all their emergency gear. No distress call was ever received. The extensive sea search found absolutely nothing. No bodies, no wreckage, no clue as to their fate. Theories started immediately, of course. Could they have somehow both accidentally fallen out while checking something outside the gondola, maybe related to the depth charges or engine? Possible, but highly unlikely for two experienced men, especially without any witnesses or wreckage found. Could they have been somehow captured by the crew of a Japanese submarine they were investigating? Seems incredibly improbable given the altitude of the blimp and the lack of any struggle or communication. Secret mission gone wrong? Took their own life? Abduction by something else? Every theory had major holes. The two men who climbed aboard that airship on August 16, 1942, and were never seen again, were Lieutenant Ernest DeWitt Cody and Ensign Charles Adams. Their disappearance remains one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries of World War II naval operations. The airship itself, L-8, was repaired and returned to service, but it carried its strange story with it, earning an enduring, eerie nickname, the Ghost Blimp. What do you think happened to Lieutenant Cody and Ensign Adams? A freak accident, enemy action, or something even stranger? Let me know your theories down in the comments. If this piece of wartime strangeness caught your interest, hit that like button and subscribe for more explorations of the strange, dark, and mysterious. Thanks for joining me. Stay safe.